All right.
Well, I'm going to finish up these emails so we can move on. All right. So Robert from Tampa says, I gave up what I now know is the greatest thing in life, to love a woman. I did so to do the right thing, married another, twins came, then another, and I stayed out of respect to my vows and sense of doing the right thing. 35 years later, reunited with my one true love, 16 months post my divorce. I again a date for only 4 years, enjoyed that great feeling of loving another. Obviously one loves their kids, talking man to woman. Loving another is the greatest, only surpassed, as was in our case. The love was returned equally. Make sure it is love, however, not just infatuation and disappointment in marriage that has caused this before you jump ship or made yourself doing this again. Caprice from New Orleans says, love is a choice. You decide to stay in love with someone once the initial infatuation and the resulting feel-good endorphins and chemicals have worn off. Boredom or familiarity is a foolish reason to end a relationship because guess what? In a few years, all those feel-good chemicals and infatuation will wear off. The new relationship, too. And you will be right back in the same situation, only older and a bit more used up and saddle-worn. You have to have some integrity and make a decision to either love the person you made a commitment to or do the honorable and kind thing and set him free to find someone who will be honest, loyal wife to him. Rhonda from Minnesota says, there is a saying, we always want what we can't have. Is it the feeling of romance that is drawing you to this other man? How long have you been married? Do you have children? There is a lot to think about before you take the step, and possibly a lot of hearts to break. Think long and hard. Let me see if I have any more. Foxy Roxy from Vegas, says, you need to stop this at once. You are married. You have no right doing this to your husband. How would you feel if he was doing this to you? Plus, you need to remove yourself from the situation before someone gets hurt. Most likely it will be your husband. Plus, you have no right in thinking you have feelings for another man. Before it gets too far, let your husband go, set him free, so he can go on with his life and find someone that will be faithful to him and not want to mess around with his best friend. I sure hope you stop and think about what you're doing because I will tell you will end a disaster if it doesn't stop now. Good luck.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Remy from Houston. There are several little ways you can keep in contact with your husband without hindering his ability to do his job. That will also help to keep you sane without him being around. Text messaging, writing notes to each other before and after work, pack him a lunch and leave him a note inside telling him how much you love him. When he finally gets that much-needed break to eat, he'll be reminded of you. Make the time you spend together invaluable. Don't just park in front of the TV, take a walk, go to dinner, see a movie, go bowling. Enjoy each other's company. Now she can add that to the Lawry seasoning that Paulette suggested from the chandeliers and everything and Aquila.
Absolutely.
Chandeliers. Ain't that how you hurt your ankle, Paulette? Try and stuff like that. Be careful.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I told them, didn't I?
Be quiet.
Lamont
put me on blast. You knew that, yes.
All right.
You're hating right now. Okay.
I'm not hating. I just, we got to tell the whole truth.
Tell the whole truth. Okay. All right.
I'm kidding.
All right, so we finally get to the next topic. Everybody take a breather. All right, so here we go. Do you really know the people that you date? Is it ever okay to run a Google search or background check on those you are dating? Sneaky or smart? Your thoughts? Here are mine. Dating has changed significantly over the past few years. Meeting people is a whole lot easier today because of social networking websites, but because of that ease, you have to be that much more careful with whom you bring into your life and into your bedroom. One Corner member mentioned when asked this question that the last 3 men she ran checks on and found out that one was still married, one was a registered sex offender, and the other had a restraining order filed against him from an old girlfriend. Here is the question. Right. Is it ever okay to run a Google search or pay for a background check on someone you wanted to date? Is this kind of behavior invasive, intrusive, or inappropriate, or can you ever be too careful? Should you treat the people you're interested in the way employers treat potential employees? I say why not? The first date is basically like the first interview. Ask the right questions, and you'll get all the answers you need based on their response. You learn more about what someone doesn't say than what they do say. Did the person contradict themselves? Did they seem nervous when asked a basic question? Did they avoid certain questions altogether? Did they say too much? Are they secretive or elusive regarding their past? Is there something you can't quite put your finger on? Do you know who this person really is? These are the things you should look for. The only effective way to determine someone's character is to get to know that person. I would suggest personally that a good first date should be brief, hour or less, in a public location, does not involve alcohol, which dulls the senses and makes you vulnerable, and is inexpensive. After all your questions are asked and checks are in, you then can decide if you want to invite them out on a second date or interview. You need to use that first date to pay attention. This takes effort and risk. It's not a quick fix. As much as you want to, in real life, you can't fast forward through the commercials to get to a happy ending. If you did a background check and they get angry when you tell them, then what does it tell you? How would you react if someone said they ran a check on you? Some believe that anyone who objects to the idea of you wanting to look after yourself is not worth knowing. A genuine person with nothing to hide would cooperate and even be pleased to know that you have a level head and are not afraid to tackle a potentially difficult situation. Remember that a personal slight is only an insult if you know the person. You can't really get to know someone you to be truthful. And if their intent is to victimize you, then nothing they say to you is going to be truthful. Unless you have mutual friends or prior knowledge about the person, you have no other way of verifying what the person tells you. Ordering background checks is kind of like insurance. There is no invasion of privacy issue unless you are using illegal methods. Otherwise, all the info is normally obtained from public records. There are people out there who are masters at hiding and concealing their true natures, sometimes even from themselves. Sorry. Do you think this is being too paranoid, an invasion of privacy or trust? Or is it simply a matter of ensuring your own personal safety? At the end of the day, if you're having doubts, follow your instincts. Those instincts are your greatest gift when it comes to your security. Unless you have some psychic powers or some extraordinary ability to tell someone is lying, how can you possibly know for a fact when someone is lying to you or BSing you immediately? Corner family, what are your thoughts? And that's what Cullen said.
Cullen.
That's what I said. I'm gonna keep it brief because I know you guys have a lot to say, but I totally stand by what I wrote. I think that you should treat it like an interview. Your first date. You should treat it like you should get to know that person. But the main thing you need to do is listen to pay attention to their answers. When you ask a question, are they sidestepping the question? Are they giving you part answers? I mean, it's real easy to find out if a person really doesn't want to answer your question when they're actually talking to you. When they're speaking to you, 60% of communication is body language. Are they real? Are they looking at you? Are they moving around too much? I mean, you have to pay attention. And so, to me, it's basically you don't want to bring a total stranger into your life, into your bedroom, which a lot of people do on the first date, but you don't want to do that. And then this person could be an ex-murderer. This person could beat his children, his wife or whatever. He could be married. A lot of people say, "Well, you never asked me if I was married." And they probably had about 4 or 5 dates when they finally realized they were married. There's a lot of things that you have to ask. Guys, do you agree with me?
I agree, but I also don't think that it's. I also think that it's not the end all be all, because you find something on somebody's background check. I say use it in conjunction with your own common sense, like Cullen was saying, asking questions. How does this person respond? Are you getting half truths? Are you finding out lies very early on? Listen to those red flags. I mean, don't just look at a background check because that person may have had a sordid past, but may be on the right path now. And personally, I don't know how I would feel if somebody did a background check on me. I might feel some kind of way about it, but I do understand why some people would feel the need to do it. Just don't rely on it too much. Use your own judgment. Use common sense.
Lamont, that is intrusive. Cullen, that's intrusive. Run it back.
But you know what, though?
Okay, let me say this. Listen, I agree. I disagree. But here's the piece I think that we're missing inside of all that good information that Cullen laid out. And I agree with Lamont. You have to definitely ask questions. But more than anything, my grandma used to tell me. My grandma was a really smart woman. She used to tell me. She'd look at me now and say, "Babe, if you wait long enough, the person who doesn't want you will walk away." So patience is important in relationships. You can backpunch, and you can get into all these other things. You can do all the stuff you're going to do. But if you just wait, people will show you who they are. I mean, exactly. Patience on the date, be patient at the movies, patient in the bedroom. Because those people who are rushing to do something bad to you are running, they're not walking.
That's true, but you know what? There are some people that play some games that go very deep and very long, and there are people who lead double lives that the other partner might not know about. It goes on.
Very few people who do that. It's very few folks who will wait a long time to play a joke on you, a trick on you. But more than anything, those people, you run into a problem between most people are trying to get you to bed quick, steal your money quick, ruin your credit quick, move in with you quick, get married you quick. Those people have things on their mind. I'm not saying the relationship doesn't move that fast. Me and my wife met and married and a baby in 2 years. But it's because I'm 42 and she's in her early 30s. She's in her mid-30s. I know what I want at 42. I ain't got to run around for 5 years and date you for 5 years. I know what I cut the BS off right away at 42.
I'm in my early 30s. I'm 30.
My wife is not her early 30s.
That's right. Clay likes the tenderonis.
Brother. I like having babies and babies. My wife is not that young. Cut it out, honey.
I'm in my early 30s. I'm not in my mid-30s, though. Like you said, mid-30s. I'm not in my mid-30s.
Stop giving him credit. You know you're 29. Stop giving him credit.
You know God. My wife doesn't need any more gasoline. My wife doesn't need any more gas. She gassed up fully, trust me.
You know, I want to say
tank is full. I'm not feeling the background check.
Clay is not being 100% truthful. We did background checks on each other. We didn't go down with fingerprints and social security numbers or anything, but we did our research through people that we knew. Because I told him, you know, I had been doing research. Yeah, but still, some people don't do research. They don't even do research. They'll just base money and take them for face value. And now, especially in Atlanta, and we live in a city full of perpetrators, you have to really look at who you're friends with and where you've been and how did you get here? Because people come to Atlanta and reinvent themselves. So were you came here? Or were you corny where you were and you came here and now you're just about it? Like, who are you? Who were